Here we are again, everybody, back with another startup. We are using Out of the Park Baseball 20 as our game, and we are here for a trek through history once again. This is Series 121, and we got two teams that are from the East Coast, that two big cities, two big rivals. We got Boston and New York. It is not the Yankees, but it is the Red Sox and the Mets, and two teams I think you're going to enjoy watching. Two winning teams. So let's introduce them and get into some of the details here. Series 121. We're going to introduce first the 1988 New York Mets. The Mets, of course, in 1986 won the World Series and were very good. In 1988, they won 100 games under Davey Johnson. Many thought they were the best team in baseball in '88. They got upset by the Dodgers in the NLCS in 7 games. In a great series. So that was an upset, and the Mets just couldn't cross the finish line, but an excellent team. One of the powerful teams in the mid-'80s, of course, with a lot of stars. You can see here Darryl Strawberry, one of his better years, 39 and 101 with a 269 average, 39 home runs, 27 doubles. 366 on base. Lenny Dykstra in center field hit 270, but scored 57 runs, stole 30 bases. We have Keith Hernandez, who hit 276, 11 home runs, 55 RBIs, and Howard Johnson and Kevin McReynolds, both combining for about 50 home runs. McReynolds driving in 99. Johnson's average on the lower end, but he did have some power. Gary Carter, one of the better catchers in the league, although he was getting up there in age, but still a very good game manager and a leader of this team. Mookie Wilson on that bench, Dave Magadan. But the strength of the Mets is their pitching, and some dominant names during this era. We have Dwight Gooden, of course, 18 and 9 in his prime, 10 complete games. Ron Darling, 17 and 9, and David Cone, a staggering 20 and 3 record. With a 2.22 ERA in 231. He struck out 213. David Cone, just an amazing year for the Mets. Bob Ojeda and Sid Fernandez also helping out, all in double-digit wins. And Randy Myers, the very capable closer, 26 saves with a 1.72 ERA. Roger McDowell, Rick Aguilera, some of the other great names in the Mets pen. So the Mets definitely led by their pitching, a confident, brash bunch. This Mets team took the field believing they were going to win every game, and they just about did until they ran into the Dodgers and Orel Hershiser and Kirk Gibson. But either way, it'll be fun to watch these guys play. Their strength, again, as I said before, is in their pitching, and it should be fun to watch those Mets pitchers go through their opposition, and that opposition is the 1996 Boston Red Sox. A little bit later, actually the team that Mets faced in the series in the mid-'80s, same franchise that has that storied series in their history with the Buckner error and a 7-game series loss. This team a little different. They won 85 games. They missed out on the playoffs, finishing 3rd in the AL East. Kevin Kennedy, the manager here. For the Red Sox, Mo Vaughn, 44 home runs, 143 RBIs, 326, a dominant season for Vaughn, 118 runs scored, and over 200 hits. Can't get more complete than that. Mike Greenwell still getting it done at a 295 clip. Jose Canseco, the designated hitter, 28 home runs, 82 RBIs, hit 289. Some people forget he was on the Red Sox for a little bit. Troy O'Leary, not a bad player, 81 RBIs, and even Mike Stanley at catcher with 24 and 69, hitting 270. John Valentine, 296 hitter. So some pop here. Mo Vaughn, definitely the star of a lineup that still could produce. But like the Mets, the Red Sox have the dominant Roger Clemens on their team, another pitching star like the Mets had Gooden and Cone. Clemens here with a rough record of 10 and 13, not one of his best seasons. His ERA at 3.63, struck out 257, but was hit around a little bit in 1996, one of his final years in Boston. Tom Gordon, still a starter, got hammered pretty well. Tim Wakefield didn't have a very good year, and Aaron Seeley with all ERAs over 5. So you can see where the Red Sox struggled. They really didn't have the pitching depth or starting depth that they needed. Jamie Moyer's even on this team. He was a better 7-1 and started in 10 games. Heathcliff Slocum, the closer, with 31 saves. Not a bad season for Slocum. Mike Stanton there in the pen as well, but the starters for the Red Sox, even Clemens, not good enough to get it done. So the Red Sox, fierce rivals with the New York teams, and that will make the series in itself exciting. Best of 7 going to be played out here with the first two at Shea Stadium as the 100-win Mets will have the home field advantage, and then we'll move over to Fenway Park for the next 3 if necessary. Game number 1, a great matchup. You got Roger Clemens against 20-game winner David Cone. Two very good arms. Should be electric, should be full of strikeouts and full of some intimidation, as both these pitchers love to throw the heat and overpower their opposition. So I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it's two very good teams. I think it's two very charismatic sides. Mo Vaughn and Darryl Strawberry and Lenny Dykstra, the likes that should make this series enjoyable. So let's get things started. Let's head out to Shea Stadium for game number 1. 1996 Red Sox against 1988 Mets. Best of 7 to start. Let's see if Roger Clemens can get the Red Sox off on the right foot against the favored Mets. So here we are live, Shea Stadium. We're in the top of the first inning. We have Jose Canseco up there against Cone with 2 on and 2 out in a big spot. That ball gets away. Cone throws the wild pitch, and the Red Sox will get on the board first here in the first inning, 1-0. Valentin crosses the plate. And Canseco will line it in the gap, and it's going to be 2-0 Red Sox as Jose Canseco comes through with a double here with 2 outs. So the Red Sox all over. David Cone and the Mets here early. Got him now the first. Howard Johnson at the plate with nobody out. And Johnson's going to go deep to left field to the wall. Looking up, we have a tie game. Howard Johnson takes Roger Clemens out of the ballpark, and it is 2-2 as the Mets answer right back here in the first inning. Both starters in this game coming up with rough first innings, and it's not over yet. Wally Backman up there with 2 on and only 1 out, and Backman's going to line this one hard to left field. Runner's going to tag. Here comes the throw, cut off, and the Mets will take the lead here, 3-2. They play 3 runs against Clemens. We'll move to the second. Aaron Bragg, the hitter, against Cone. And Bragg is going to line this one deep to right field, way back at the wall. Goodbye. Darren Bragg ties this game up at 3. The bats have come out here in the New York night for both teams, and we are tied at 3. Bottom of the second, Lenny Dykstra up there with a man on. Nobody out. Dykstra's going to line this one deep to center field. That ball's going to drop. Cone is rounding the bases. He's going to stop at third, and we got second and third here. Nobody out in the second inning. Kevin McReynolds, the hitter, now with 1 out. This is grounded to the hole. That's going to be played by the shortstop. Play at first will be made. Cone will score on the play, and it is going to be now 4-3. Mets with Strawberry at the plate. And Strawberry rips it to right field, way back, looking up, and goodbye. Home run, Darryl Strawberry. Roger Clemens getting beat up here by the Mets. It is a 2-run shot by the straw, and it is now 6-3 Mets. We move now to the bottom of the third. Clemens long gone. We got David Cone, the pitcher, up with the bases loaded. Nobody out. Infield's in, and Cone's going to hit it to center field. That ball's going to drop 2 more runs for the Mets. The Mets get 2 on a David Cone 2-run single, and it is 8-3 now. Mets, they poke in this game wide open here in game 1. 9-3 is our score. Kevin McReynolds now up there with a man on third. He lines it hard, deep to left field. This one is way out of here. McReynolds with a 2-run home run, 430 feet, and it is now 11-3 Mets, 19-3 Mets. Yes, fans, 19-3 is our score. We're in the 9th inning with 2 outs. Ron Darling has actually come in here to finish this one off. Darren Bragg, the hitter, this is hit to second. Play made at first, and the Mets make a huge statement here in game 1, doing it with their own distinct style. The Mets love to come out and intimidate, and they do exactly that and put up 19 on the Red Sox here in game 1. Kevin McReynolds 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Strawberry 2 for 3 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Howard Johnson 4 RBIs. The Mets hitting 3 home runs, destroying Roger Clemens. David Cone didn't have his best stuff, but he will get the win. He settled down after a rough start. And it was all Mets. They get 19 runs on 15 hits. 2 errors for the Red Sox did not help. And that's the type of game you have to wonder if there's some after effects going forward into the next games, because that is such a humiliating loss for the Red Sox. The Mets setting more than just the tone, really hammering the Red Sox, and it'll be interesting to see if they can bounce back here in game 2, especially going up against Dwight Gooden, who won't be easy to face. Gooden starting game 2 for the Mets, and it'll be Aaron Seeley to try to right the ship. Game 2 coming up. Let's see if fortunes can change. Clemens and the Red Sox just hammered in game 1. Game 2 now on slate. It's a brand new day. Let's see if the Red Sox have better luck in game 2 against the flamboyant Mets. Game 2, we're in the bottom of the second. Gary Carter up there with 2 on. Carter will line this one into right field past the second baseman. That's going to score a run if he can beat the throw. Magadan crosses the plate. 1-0 Mets here in the second inning. Seeley now facing Kevin Elster. Elster takes ball 4. So with 1 out, the Mets load the bases. And Boston is in danger of getting hit hard again here early, but it's Dwight Gooden now, the pitcher, at the plate. Field's in, and Gooden lines this one to right field. That ball's going to be caught. A great diving catch out there by Canseco. A run's going to score and tag, but Canseco saves further damage with the catch where he leaves his feet. And it's 2-0 Mets. We move to the 6th. Dwight Gooden pitching a gem out there. Jeff Fry at the plate to lead off the inning. And this one's shot up the middle. It's going to be a line drive base hit for Fry. John Valentine now the hitter. Valentine goes to center field. Right there is Dykstra to make the play. So we got 2 out. We move all the way to the 9th inning. Randy Myers has come in to close it. It's 2-0 Mets. The Mets looking for the shutout. Myers delivers. This one's hit up the middle. That'll get past the second baseman. So a little bit of a rally here finally by the Red Sox. And Mike Stanley, the hitter, he represents the go-ahead run. Runner's on the move. This one's hit into the outfield, and it's going to drop over the head of the shortstop. Run's going to score. It's going to be a single. A leaping effort out there at short by Elster, but he couldn't make the play. It's 2-1 now. 2 outs, and Darren Bragg has a chance to tie this game up. The last hope here, or can Myers close the door? Strike 3, Myers gets him looking, and he saves it. The Mets win Game 2 in a completely different manner. Different type of game from Game 1. They win it 2-1 in the pitcher's duel. Behind the great effort by Dwight Gooden, who went 8 strong innings, striking out 11, not allowing an earned run, and Myers, even though he had some trouble in the 9th, closes it out. 2-1 the final. Aaron Seeley pitched pretty good for the Red Sox, and he takes the loss. Wally Backman scored a run and walked twice. A 2-1 score. Both of the New York runs coming all the way in the 2nd inning. The Red Sox making a much more competitive game out of it, but the final score 2-1 gives them the same result as Game 1. They lose both games at Shea Stadium in New York. 2 very different ball games. But the series now 2-0 as we head to Fenway Park for the middle 3 games. Bob Ojeda is going to take on Tom Gordon. It's pretty much a must-win for the Red Sox as they are now at home, trying to fend off the Mets. They really got to get those bats going. They haven't hit almost at all in this series. And now home cooking, hopefully for them, can help us turn this series around. A little bit more encouragement after a much more competitive game in Game 2. They even had the tying run on third base, 90 feet away, but couldn't come through. Game 3, however, new setting, new environment, new start, hopefully. Boston can get on track for their sake, or the Mets are going to look to further do damage and try to make this as short a series as possible. So let's head out to Fenway for game number 3. Fenway Park in Boston now. Game 3, Bob Ojeda in a little bit of a jam with Darren Bragg up here, bottom of the 2nd inning. And there's ball 4, so the inning gets a little bit tougher here for the Mets. Base is loaded. Only 1 out. And Tim Naring at the plate. Ojeda delivering, and this one's hit to center field, but that's going to be a diving catch in center by Dykstra. Throw of the plate's going to be late. So the Red Sox will get on the board, but a nice catch by Dykstra prevents a bigger inning, and it is 1-0 as we hit top of the 3rd. Here come the Mets. Howard Johnson against Tom Gordon. 2 men on, 1 out. This one's lined back to Vaughn, who takes it himself at first base. The run is going to score, so we got a 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the 3rd now. Strawberry at the plate. This is hit to first. Vaughn cannot handle it. Mo Vaughn, not known for his glove, can't handle the hot shot. So the Mets are going to load the bases now, and Lenny Dykstra in a big spot here with 2 outs. Dykstra will go to second, however, and the play will be made there. Fry makes it, and the inning's over, so Boston gets out of that jam. We're now in the 4th inning with Magadan at the plate. Magadan takes ball 4 already with a man on, so we got first and second. 1 out, and Kevin Elster, the hitter. Elster's going to line this one to right field. Coming over to make the play easily is O'Leary. So there are 2 outs here for Mookie Wilson. Wilson will strike out. That will end the threat. Full count strikeout there. Gordon gets out of it, so we're bottom 4 now. Naring up against Ojeda. This is grounded past the 3rd baseman, so Boston making some noise here in the 4th. First and second, 1 out for Troy O'Leary. O'Leary loops this one to left. That's going to be a tough play, but the shortstop is there. Elster goes and gets it, showing some range. Here's Fry. Fry will hit it to shortstop. Elster makes another play, and the game remains tied here. It's a tight one in Game 3, bottom of the 5th. Mo Vaughn, the hitter. Ball 4 to Vaughn, and we got first and second now, 2 outs for Boston, as both teams try to break this tie. Mike Stanley's the hitter. Stanley strikes out, but the ball gets away. The play will be made, however, at first by Carter without a problem. So the 3 errors by Boston hasn't come back to haunt him at all. We are tied at 1. Wally Backman now facing a new pitcher, Joe Hudson, in for Boston as Gordon's done. The side armor delivers, and this one's ripped in the right. That's going to get to the wall. So Backman has a double here in the 6th inning for the visiting Mets. Magadan now the hitter against Schilling, the new pitcher, and that's ball 4. Kevin Elster, the hitter. Schilling delivers. This is hit to third. Play is going to be made there at second. Relay to first. Double play for the Red Sox. And a nice defense continues as this ball game has been deadlocked at 1 for a while. Bottom of the 6th, Troy O'Leary, the hitter. It's Ron Darling who's come on the pitch. And O'Leary's going to dump this one in the right field for a single. First and second for the Red Sox. Fry, the hitter. I'll hit it to short. Ulster picks up the hot shot, delivers the double play. So the Mets and Kevin Ulster, who's been playing well with the glove, make it happen there. We'll move all the way to the bottom of the 8th. Mike Stanley now facing Roger McDowell as the Mets are deep into their pen. This one's hit into left field for a single. Stanley comes through with 1 out. It is the 7th Red Sox hit. Here's Darren Bragg. Bragg will line this one hard in the left. That's going to get down. That's going to be extra bases. It's going to be a run trying to score, and he will. It's a triple. Stanley scores. Bragg with an RBI triple, and it is 2-1 now. Boston, they've taken the lead in this ball game. Troy O'Leary will try to give his team some insurance. He lines a single to right, and it's 3-1 Red Sox as they've responded well here. Played in Game 3. 3-1 will move to the 9th. Slocum's come in to try to close the door. There's a strikeout, and he does exactly that as Boston comes back home. Feels comfortable and takes game number 3 to make it a series again. They win this one 3-1. Boston pitching's improved considerably since the Game 1 debacle. Tom Gordon went 5 innings of work without allowing an earned run, matching pretty much Bob Ojeda the whole way. Canseco with the run scored and a double, but it was the 2-run 8th inning that was the difference for the Red Sox, who banged out 9 hits, allowed 3 errors to happen, but didn't cost them in the end. Garces gets the win, McDowell the loss, Slocum his first save of the series, and Boston comes home to tighten things up. 2-1 now between these two rivals. Looking now at game number 4, it's going to be the knuckleballers. Tim Wakefield will take the mound for the Red Sox against Sid Fernandez. 2 pitchers with a lot of guile that are going to face off here in game 4 as the Mets try to shake off a loss and win their 3rd game, or Boston at home now will try to even the series. So the excitement builds in this best of 7. Let's take a look now what happens at Fenway Park. The crucial game number 4 coming up. Boston and New York. Back in Boston, this is game number 4. We have Dave Magadan up in a nice spot with 2 on in the 2nd inning, and he takes ball 4. So the Mets with the bases loaded here. Tim Wakefield in a jam. 1 out for Kevin Elster. Elster, however, looks at strike 3, so Wakefield picks himself up a little bit. Has to get past Mookie Wilson, however. And he does with a strikeout. So very good work by Wakefield after getting in trouble. He'll hold this game scoreless. We'll move bottom of the second. Troy O'Leary swings and misses as Sid Fernandez gets him. Now to the third with Strawberry at the plate. He takes one outside for ball 4. We'll move, however, bottom of the third. Reggie Jefferson against Sid Fernandez, the lefty. And this one is drilled deep to right. If it's fair, it's going to be way out of here. It is gone. Home run, Jefferson. 442 feet. What a blast out of Fenway and right. 1-0 now for the home team. We'll move 5th inning. Howard Johnson facing Wakefield. Mookie Wilson on first base, keeping Wakefield busy. However, this one's hit up the hole. That's going to be to the shortstop. No play's going to be made there. It's going to be an infield hit, as Valentine had a tough play. Wilson now at second, and Kevin McReynolds, the hitter. McReynolds will go to second. Play there. Relay to first. They get 2. The Red Sox turn a double play here to preserve their lead. Moving to the 5th inning now. Jefferson, who homered earlier, is back up there. And he lines one a rope to right field. It's going to be another RBI for Jefferson. A double, and it is 2-0. Red Sox, thanks to the one star of the day, who has a homer and a double. 6th inning now. Wally Backman, the hitter. Backman goes to third. Play will be made there. There's another double play for the Red Sox, who are flashing the leather in this one. 6th inning now. Jefferson up there again. The designated hitter has been on fire today. And he drills another one. Deep to right. That ball's going to leave the yard. What a day for Reggie Jefferson. Heroes coming out of the darkness, you can say. Not an expected source of power or run producer, but Jefferson has done it. All 5 RBIs on the day. Unbelievable. We move now to the 9th. Mike Maddox in the mop things up for the Red Sox. Here's a ground ball to short. Elster goes to second. Relay to first. That'll do it. The Red Sox have done the improbable. They've evened up this series, 2 games apiece. They shut out the Mets 5-0. A very impressive outing for Boston, especially for Tim Wakefield, who pitched into the 9th. No earned runs, struck out 5, got out of a number of jams. And Reggie Jefferson, 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, scored 3 runs. Just a magnificent game for Jefferson. Really came out and pounded Sid Fernandez and the Mets pitching. Wally Backman 1 for 2 with a couple of doubles, but it was not the day to remember for the Mets. And just like that, the home teams continue to dominate this series, and the Red Sox pick themselves off. Remember, folks, they lost Game 1 19-3. And they're back now all even in this series with another home game coming up, and their ace taking the mound. Roger Clemens looks for redemption here in Game 5 against David Cone. We'll see if Clemens can right the ship. But most of all, can the Red Sox keep the momentum going against the Mets? They've really done a job on them here. And looking to sweep away all 3 games at Fenway. The drama continues to grow. Let's now head out to Game 5 as the Mets try to recover. It is tied now 2 games apiece, and Game 5 just ahead of us. Let's go live to the action. It's going to be Clemens versus Cone. So series tied at 2. We are in game number 5. Lenny Dykstra up here in the first inning with 2 on and 2 out. Clemens watching the runners. He's in trouble again early, and he keeps throwing the first where Strawberry's at. And this one's drilled deep to right field, way back to the wall, and got it. Long gone, Lenny Dykstra. Roger Clemens was distracted, not on his game. Fastball over the plate, and Dykstra whammed it out of here, 3-0. Mets, wow. We'll move bottom of the first. Jefferson up there, he singles to right field. That'll get down, run around in third. He's going to score, so the Red Sox trying to come back here against Cone as quickly as they can. There's a ball in front of the plate. That play's going to be made at second. Relay the first, double play there. Gary Carter, a great play out of the box. So it is 3-1 here with Canseco at the plate. Ball gets away. That's going to score a run on a wild pitch. So Boston answers quickly with 2 runs in the first inning, and it seems like it's a replay of game 1 where Clemens and Cone have nothing really. 3-2 our score. Darren Bragg is going to go deep to right field, way back there. That might tie this ball game, and it's in the bullpen, and it will. 3-3 tie. Darren Bragg with a solo home run. And we are tied at 3 here at Fenway. Bottom of third now. Canseco up there. He takes ball 4 with 1 out. Mike Stanley, the hitter. Stanley will line this one to left field, but it will be caught. Coming over there is Wilson. So 2 outs now for Darren Bragg, who's already homered. He takes ball 4. And the bases are loaded now for the Red Sox with 2 outs here as David Cone tries to work around Tim Naring. This, however, is lined up. Middle of base hit. 1 run's going to come in. Here comes another run. Going to score a 2-run single by Naring. And it is now 5-3 Red Sox as Fenway Park erupts. 6-3's our score. Jeff Innes is the pitcher now as Canseco's up at the plate. And Canseco drives it deep to left field. That's going to be up against the Green Monster. 1 run in, 2 runs are going to score. Canseco trying for an inside the park homer. Here's a throw to the plate. He is safe. We have an inside the park home run by Jose Canseco. Great hustle by the big guy. It's 9-3. So very difficult to get an inside the park long one at Fenway Park, but he did it as the Mets are sleepwalking, and it's 10-3 now. Jefferson at the plate. What a ball game here at Fenway, and Jefferson goes deep towards the Green Monster. That's going to be over. Another home run for Jefferson, who's been showing great power. It's 11-3 now, Boston. We'll move to the 9th. Magadan up there with 2 outs against Belinda. This is drilled to right field, and that'll be a little bit of solace, but O'Leary makes a diving catch to end this ball game. I thought that ball was well over his head, but on a perfect day for the Red Sox, O'Leary ends it in style, and it's 11-3, our final score at Fenway Park. The Red Sox sweep away the Mets at their home park. 11-3 in this one. Reggie Jefferson 5 for 5, 2 RBIs. What a series Jefferson is having. Canseco 1 for 2 with an inside the park home run. Roger Clemens got the ship steadied after a rough first inning, struck out 7, worked 7 innings with 3 earned runs. David Cone got hammered, and it was all Boston in this one. 15 hits. They score in the first 4 innings and put up 10 runs early. No contest in this one, and this series has completely turned on its head. The Red Sox now lead at 3-2 and are ready to pull an upset as we now head to New York for game number 6, where it's do or die for the Mets. Dwight Gooden will take the mound for New York against Darren Seeley. Gooden was great in his first outing. But a lot has changed since then, and you can see here the games. And the first game was 19-3 Mets. They won game 2, but 3 in a row at Fenway by the Red Sox has really made things interesting. Can the Red Sox end this series and pull an upset, defeating a 100-win Mets team? Or will the Mets right the ship with their, I guess you can call ace now, Dwight Gooden, with Cone struggling so much? Let's see if the doctor can get it done. Or will Boston be celebrating in New York? Game number 6 coming up of this exciting series. Boston leading it 3-2. Here it is, Shea Stadium, bottom of the first inning. Darryl Strawberry facing Aaron Seeley. And Strawberry lifts this one deep to center field. That ball's going to get down past the center fielder for a double. Strawberry gets the Mets on the board here first, 1-0. And Magadan is the next hitter. Magadan is going to hit this one deep to right field. That one's got a chance to leave the yard. It will. Home run, Magadan. And it is now 3-0 Mets as they have come out smoking here in a must-win game for New York. Nothing like home cooking again for the home side. And Gooden now facing Bragg. And Bragg is going to go to the left field corner here with a man on. Bragg with a double, so it's second and third here in the second inning. And the pitcher up, Seeley, he puts down a bunt. That's a good one. Play's going to be made at second. But the runners are going to be safe. A great bunt there by Seeley, and the bases are going to be loaded now with nobody out for Jeff Fry. The second inning continuing, and here is a strikeout for Gooden. So that's a big out. Valentine now the hitter. And Valentine's going to dribble it up the middle. The ball gets through. It's going to be a 2-run single for Valentine. 2-run score for the Red Sox. And Boston comes right back to tie this game up at 3 with a big second inning. Reggie Jefferson now strikes out swinging. Gooden gets him. And we'll move now to the 6th inning. Magadan up there. He lines one into left field. Catch is going to be made there. Jefferson makes the grab. We're in the 7th inning now. All tied up at 3. Gooden's still in this game. Mike Greenwell, the hitter. Greenwell's going to hit this one past the second baseman for a single. So Greenwell comes through there. First and second now. Terry Leach has come in as Gooden's day is done against John Valentine. Nobody out. The Mets trying to hold on. There's a strikeout. Leach comes across his body with a sinker to get the batter. One out here for Reggie Jefferson. Jefferson lines this one to center field. It's through. Run around in third. The throw of the plate is going to be late. And the Red Sox on the Jefferson single take the lead in this crucial game 4-3. They climb all the way back. Here's Mo Vaughn now. Vaughn takes a pitch outside, so the bases are loaded here. Boston looking for more. And Seiko is the hitter. Leach delivers. This one's lined the other way to right field. That's going to score a run, and it's 5-3. Ken Seiko comes through with an opposite field single. 5-3 the score. Things falling apart here for the Mets. Bragg is up there. He lines it to right field. That should be playable here with 2 outs. Catch is made by Strawberry, but the Red Sox take the lead 5-3. And the Mets have work to do as Keith Hernandez is facing Mark Brandenburg. That's going to be a ball outside on a full count pitch, so the Mets got to run around for Dykstra. Dykstra's going to fly this one, popping it up. That should be easy. Going out there is the second baseman, Fry. 8th inning now. Tim Narin, the hitter. against Roger McDowell, 5-3 ball game. This is lined up the middle for a single by Nairn. It is the 10th Red Sox hit. We move bottom of the 8th now. The Red Sox 6 outs away from ending this series. Darryl Strawberry facing Rich Garces. And there's a line shot. That ball's deep all the way back to the wall. Strawberry just gets it over the center field wall. It's a home run for Strawberry, his second of the series, cutting the lead to 1. It's 5-4 now. Strawberry with a big home run. So the Mets now only down a run. This is a line shot here by Backman. It's going to go all the way to the wall. So Backman, a 2-out double. Hoping to be the run that the Mets desperately need here. Let's see if Carter can come through. 5-4 ball game. Carter looks at strike 3. He got him looking. And Carter leaves the tying run on second base. Cannot come through. We'll move to the 9th. Now Heathcliff Slocum facing Mookie Wilson in the 9th. Something about the Mets down runs in the bottom of the 9th against the Red Sox that brings back some memories. But let's see what the Red Sox can do here. There's a strikeout, so Slocum comes through. He's not Alvin Chiraldi. And Tuffle now pinch hitting. And Tuffle's going to swing and miss. And the Mets are down to their very last out in this series. What an upset it's going to be. Slocum pitching to Dykstra. That pitch is outside, so the Mets not done yet. Dykstra representing the tying run on first. Howard Johnson's the hitter. Obviously, the attention on Dykstra. He represents the tying run, but here now is Johnson, who takes strike 3, and this game is over. The Boston Red Sox of 1996 have won this series, beating the 88 Mets 4-2. They win 4 games in a row in this series. What a great run by the Red Sox. They win Game 6. Darryl Strawberry had a home run for the Mets, but it was Aaron Seeley who gets the win. Gooden pitched decently, but it was the Sox who win it. Slocum gets to save to close things out. And even though they fell behind 3-0 in the very first inning, they came right back against Gooden and in the end put 2 on the board in the 7th. That would hold up in the end. The 7th inning, looking at some of the highlights here, it was Canseco who singled the opposite field to get an insurance run. But it was also Reggie Jefferson who got the hit that scored the first run and broke the tie. So it's all Boston. They win 4 games in a row in this series, stunning the 100-win Met team. A team that was supposed to be dominating this series, and really, after a 19-3 Game 1 performance, you thought that's what the direction it was going into, but boy, oh boy, did the Red Sox turn things around in Boston, and it carried over to Game 6. Let's look at some of the numbers. Reggie Jefferson, what a series. 3 homers, 7 RBIs, hit .440 with 11 hits. Darren Bragg, .364. Canseco, .333, he drove in 5. Tim Nairn, a good series. And the pitching, here you see Wakefield, he pitched dominant ball in his 1 start, 8 innings of work, no earned runs. Tom Gordon and Slocum pitched very well out of the pen. Seeley, a .397 in his 2 starts. Roger Clemens really got hammered in his starts, which is surprising because the Red Sox were able to overcome it and even win a ball game. On the other side, the Mets, here you can see Backman had a good series with 8 hits. Howard Johnson, 5 RBI. Strawberry drove in 6 with 2 home runs. Dykstra hit only .217, and some of the big Met bats like Gary Carter, only 2 hits in the series, struggled, as did Keith Hernandez, who went a solid 0 for 18 in this series. Wow. Ron Darling in there with a good performance for his limited work. Dwight Gooden pitched well in 2 starts with a .257, striking out a whopping 21. David Cone got hammered around, 9 Ks, but allowed a bunch of runs there with a .736 ERA. Roger McDowell terrible out of the pen, and the Mets ended up losing some close ball games in this series. So the rivalry between Boston and New York goes Boston's way in a big way. They upset the Mets in 6 games, winning that last one 5-4. That's why we play these series, for excitement and upsets, and we got one here today. The mighty Mets of the 1980s and led by Davey Johnson go down. It is Red Sox of 1996 who win this series, Series 121, presented by Out of the Park Baseball 20, controlled by the Red Sox, beating the 1988 New York Mets. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll be with us again shortly. This series is history. Out of the Park Baseball 20, and our historical matchups continue, and we keep rolling on. We'll see you soon.